Hi guys, welcome back to the Toothless video. This is part 3. So today we're going to be doing the tail wing fin things. I don't know what these are. And then the wings, big wings. And then we're going to sew everything on and sew everything together. So this particular tail fin that he has, I did with the sparkle yarn. However, I don't have any of this left, so I'm just going to do it with regular red and black. And then on here, these are pop stitches, but it's not going to be the full pop stitch. It's going to be my rendition of it, so we'll go through that. I'm hoping that the part 3 is going to end this. It should hopefully end the video, because it is quite long. Designing this guy took me months, and this video seems to be taking me months, even though it's just been a couple of days. So we are going to start, we're going to do the fins after. We're just going to jump right into the tail. You're going to start with a magic ring. I'm going to use a 5mm. I'm actually not sure what I used for this originally, but I'm pretty sure it was a 5mm. I didn't write it down, which is odd, because usually I do write it down. So 6 single crochets inside this ring. For the next 12 rows, you're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch, which is 6 stitches. So I wouldn't even use a marker. I'm actually not going to use a marker. I'm just going to count to 6 and hit my button on my row counter. So 12 rows, 6 single crochets. I'll see you on the other side. This is my 12 rows. This is what I have. I've stuffed the end because I got to sew the fins to it, so it's just easier to do it when there's stuffing. But honestly, I didn't really stuff a whole lot of the tail, or very, very little stuffing, so it's up to you what you do. So I've got my 12 rows done. So your next row is going to be 1 single crochet and put your marker in. We're going to start adding our scales. I just used pop stitches, but I didn't use a full pop stitch, so I actually didn't. It's also known as a puff stitch, and well, it's known as a bunch of stuff. So what I did was I put 2 half double crochets in the same space. Then I pulled up this loop and I went into the first stitch I made, which is right next door. I put this loop back on my hook, and then I yarned over and I pulled through just to secure it, and then I made a stitch to secure it. And then I continued with my single crochets. Back to my marker, which is 4 single crochets. So that is what you get. So that's what I did all the way up. Not right beside each other. So for the next 4 rows, you're just going to put 1 single crochet in each of these 6 stitches. So it's still 6 stitches, nothing changes. You just need to find the stitches in here instead of them being visible. Three, 4, 5, and 6. So it's still 6 stitches, you just got to find them in behind the bump. So 3 more rows from here, so 4 rows from the bump, 3 rows because we just did the one. You can use your marker or your counter, if I can clear mine. So that's 1, so 3 more of these, and then I'll meet you back for another pop stitch. So this should be round 18. So we're going to do this again. We're going to do 1 single crochet. Actually, let's do 2 single crochets. It just seems to be, because we work in a spiral, seems to be moving. So we want to line it up. So then we'll do another pop stitch. So 2 half doubles in the same space. Pull up your loop. Go into the next stitch. Put the loop on again, pull through, creating a stitch. I don't know what I get stuck on every single time, but every single time I get stuck on something. And then your 4 single crochets to finish it. Actually, it'd be 3 single crochets, wouldn't it? So that's lined up. Just make sure it's getting lined up. So then another 4 rows and we'll come back and do another one. So I'm back around to do another pop stitch. I don't feel this one's sticking up quite as much. Now these are not going to be really that noticeable. Nobody seems to notice mine. I have to point them out. So, do 1 single. Just try to line it up wherever you're at. Just try to line your pop stitch up with your other one. So I'm going to do another pop stitch here. I didn't get it stuck on anything that time. And then single crochet normally back to your marker if you're using one. I am not using one. I feel it slows me down. So now we're going to do an increase. So we're going to do 1 single crochet increase. That's my 1 single crochet. I have 6 stitches, so oh, my battery's going to die. Here, I'll use my marker. So that's my 1 single crochet. The next stitch is going to get the increase of 2 in the same space and repeat. There, now we should be up to 9 stitches. I changed my battery. The batteries go down fast because I have my light turned up so bright because of the black that it drains my batteries faster. So for the next 3 rows I want you to put 1 single crochet in each of these 9 stitches, and then we'll come back and do another pop stitch. So I've got my 3 rows done. I'm not stuffing this, by the way. It's still just on the end here. So none of this is stuffed. So we're going to do another pop stitch. So you just got to make sure it's lined up with your other one. So however many single crochets it takes to get to that spot. I'm going to do mine here. Do another pop stitch. And I'm stuck. always say, no idea what I'm getting stuck on every single time. Well, just about. I've actually done one where I didn't get stuck. So from here, we're going to do 4 rows in between. So we're going to do another pop stitch. So we're going to get further and further apart as far as the pop stitches go. So we're going to do another pop stitch and then we're going to start increasing. So crochet around to where you need to do your pop stitch to line it up. Mine might be about here. My last one was like 6 stitches because I actually wrote it all down, but I'm in a different spot on this one. It changes because we work in this spiral, so see if I can pull this through. Oh, I almost pulled it through without getting stuck. So just come back around to your marker if you're using one. So we're going to increase now. We're going to do a 2 single crochet increase. So this should have been my marker. That's number 1, that's number 2. So you need to find this stitch behind the pop stitch and put 2 single crochets. If you're in the same space as me, you may have a different layout. So 2 single crochets increase all the way around. Should be 3 times again. And then we're going to do a 3 single crochet increase. So this will bring you up to 15 stitches. Your next increase is going to be 4 single crochets and an increase, and this brings you to 18 stitches. So this is what you should have. So we're going to stick another pop stitch in here, and then we're going to keep increasing. So crochet over till you're lined up with your last pop stitch. I'm way back here now. I'm going to start using my marker. Yeah, it's about, maybe I'll do 6. Mine seems to be twisting a little bit. Yeah. 6. And then my pop stitch. And then single crochet. I didn't want to make the scales one at a time and sew them all on, so this is why I chose to do it this way. Pure laziness. And I knew this project was going to be a big, long project to begin with, so I didn't want to make it worse by having to make these little scales at a time, and one of my pop stitches ends up popping. There we go. So we're going to start increasing again, so we're going to do a 5 single crochet increase. So I'm going to make this video a little bit shorter. Your next 2 rows are going to be increases, so I'm just going to put them up on the screen. One is going to be, next one's going to be 6 single crochet increase. The next one after that's going to be 7, and then I'll meet you back here. Oh, I almost had a knot. And then I'll meet you back here. I'm just trying to make this video shorter. I'll meet you back for another pop stitch. We are just about finished the tail. It's really long. It actually could have been longer because I think his tail is longer than what I did, but so we're gonna come back around, do another pop stitch above our other one. Oh, I'm going to do 8 single crochets and then my pop stitch. So 2 half doubles in the same space. Pull up a loop. Go into your first stitch. I think by now you probably got it. And then single crochet. So we're going to increase one more time. We're going to do 8 single crochet increase. This brings us up to 30 stitches. And then after this we're going to do 2 rows of 1 single crochet in each of these 30 stitches. That's number 1. That's 8 single crochets, and of course right behind my puff stitch is going to be my increase, just like it has been this whole time. And repeat. So this is what you should have. Looks pretty funny, but you can fasten off here with a sewing tail. I'm going to pull this through like I always do. So we're going to do the fins before we sew it on, but it's up to you whether you want to stuff this part of it to sew it on or not. But it is going to get sewn on open. Grab my other guy here. I'm not sure if I did. Oh, you're not going to be able to see very well. I guess you can't see that. Man, I hate black. But it's up to you whether you... I'm going to stuff just this part to sew it on, just because it's a lot easier to sew something on open if it's got filling in it, stuffing in it. So we'll do the tail fin. So we're going to use our 4mm for this one. I'll do, it doesn't matter which one, they're both exactly the same. One is black, one is brown. Red, brown? Where the heck did I get brown from? So they're the exact same ones. I'll do one with you. Make sure, okay, so these two are not the same size. So I'm going to get weird, but you don't have to do this. If you have same size yarn. So this is a thicker worsted. This is just a regular 4-weight. This calls for a 5.5. This calls for a 5. So they're going to come out different sizes like my other one did, which I wasn't happy about. So I'm actually going to use different size hooks, but if yours is the same, then you can go ahead and do that. But my red, because it's going to be smaller, if I use the 4, I'm going to use a 4.5, and I'll use the 4 for my black, just because of the size difference, because I want the fins to be the same size. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use the red. So forget the fact that I'm using a 4.5. Just pretend it's a 4. But red is a lot easier to see than black. So, alright, so let's get started. We're going to chain 11.
Let me count this again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11.
Okay, so I'm going to do 3 single crochets. Six half doubles. That's 6. You're not going to do anything with this last stitch. You're just going to leave it hanging. You're going to chain 1 and you're going to turn. So yes, you should have this extra. You should have 1 stitch here, but we're not going to use it. So now I want you to do 6 half doubles. That's 6 half doubles and then 3 singles. Chain 1 and turn. So 3 singles. And I want you to do 5 half doubles. That's 5, leaving 1 unworked. Chain 1, turn your work. Now I want you to do 5 half doubles and 3 singles. Chain 1, turn your work. Three singles. And now we're going to do 4 half doubles, leaving a stitch unworked. That's 4. Chain 1, turn your work. 4 half doubles and 3 singles. Chain 1, turn your work. Three singles. And 3 half doubles. Leaving 1 unworked. Chain 1, turn your work. 3 half doubles and 3 singles. Chain 1, turn your work. 3 singles. It's a pretty long fin. Wing, whatever the heck it's supposed to be. 3. Sorry, battery died. Well, timed out. 2 half doubles, leaving 1 unworked. Chain 1, turn your work. 2 half doubles, 3 singles. And you can fasten off with a sewing tail. So the black one gets made exactly the same way, so you can just tighten down your slip knot here. We're going to weave this guy in. So you can just use the side to weave. And then this gets sewn on like that. So all along there. So I will leave my pattern up. You can make your black one and get it sewn on. Doesn't matter what side you sew it on. Just make sure it starts down at the tip. And you want the two together. Like that. Anyway, I'm going to make my black one, I think, before I sew it on. Because I want to know where my black one's going to be together so that it lines up right. So that's my suggestion anyway. So do that. I'll meet you back here after I'm done making my black one. So that did not take long at all. So my idea.
One will have to be upside down, and one will have to be right side up. Not the way his tail goes. Let me look at his fins again. Oh, the small part is on the top. Small part's on the top. And then the big part's on the bottom.
So that's how it's going to go, like that. So changing those hooks actually worked because these are about the same size. So what I think I'm going to do
So I'm going to bring this down right at the tip. I'm going to do the same thing for my red. And I'm going to come out the same hole as my black. So I'm going to go right down the tip. And I'm going to come out the same hole as my black. And then I'm going to tie a knot. I'm going to tie a double knot. A very tight double knot. I'm going to cut that off. And I'm going to poke this down into here. Into the stuffing.
And that is how you do the tail. So I'm going to put a little bit of stuffing up here. I'm going to sew this to my butt of my dragon, and I will see you right back here to do the butt fin. So there's two little fins that come off the butt right next to the tail. I don't know why. It's a stupid dragon. Sorry for anybody that's a fan of Toothless. After making one of these, I am not a fan of Toothless. So I just wanted to show you where this is getting sewn on. So it goes pretty low. It's gonna go down right between the legs. So it's gonna sit that low. And then we'll do the scales up the back after we get the tail on and the fins. And then we'll make some scales up the back like that. So, not something I can really do on camera, but pretty soon we'll be able to sew the head on. So, if you wanted to put scales on his butt, we just need to get some black. Because we certainly don't want to make any and sew any. So I'm gonna do a knot. I'm just gonna do a slip knot, but just do a double knot on the one end. And then I'm gonna thread my needle. Doesn't matter where you go in, just matters where you pop out. And I know this is gonna be hard to see, so I'm gonna turn my light back up. So we're going to do the same thing that we did on the head all the way around. So you just want to pop out somewhere at the base of the butt. And you're going to go right next to this stitch next door. You're going to come across. This is just to get it started. And then you're going to go across back to the same stitch. So we're going to squeeze and pull. Now only do it a little bit. You don't need to do great big scales. So now we're gonna, this is my lead. I know it's probably hard to see. We're gonna go into the next stitch and we're gonna come over here. So we're just gonna do this line up the back. Pull and pinch. Next stitch over. Out the other side. My table is so slippery. Pull and pinch. Scooch across again. Pull and pinch. Doesn't take long, and it gives it a nice look. Pull and pinch. Unfortunately, it's grabbing every piece of polyfill that I have in his butt. Pull and pinch. So I'm back up here where I started sewing, and that's kind of the spot where I'm trying to hide by making these scales, because you kind of can't get around how this looks. I guess you can if you're a better sewer than me, but he has scales up his back and down his butt, so that's kind of what I decided to do to get around this little sew spot. Now his wings are going to be here, but they are going to lay. This will be noticeable, you'll see it. So, and then it hides this where you started sewing part. So once you're done and you're satisfied with what you got, you can keep going if you want. It doesn't matter. It's your dragon. But once you're done, I would just come back. I've got my little loop. Come back and go through your loop. Just kind of make a knot, but like an inside knot. So when you pull to make your scale, that kind of tightens down. So at this point, I think you can just weave wherever. Weave and pop out wherever you're going to pop out. Don't think you have to go too far. No one's going to be trying to pull at your scales. So that's all I did for that. And then you get the lovely pleasure of picking all the polyfill off your black. Have I mentioned that I hate black? Oh yeah, and I should mention this where we started here. Leave a nubby and poke this knot down. There. Now we got to do our butt wings I don't even know why he has butt wings, but he does. So now we gotta do butt wings. So we're gonna do the tail fins now. I'm going back to my 5. And I want you to chain 8. So I want you to do 6 single crochets. That leaves 1 stitch empty because we chained 8, so we had 7 working chains. Chain 1 and turn. Now I want you to do 5 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. 5 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. Now I want you to do 4 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn, and 4 single crochets. Chain 1, you're going to fasten off. You need a sewing tail, and we're going to cinch the end of this. Excuse me. Keep this guy handy. We're going to cinch the end of this. So you're going to go into the end, and you're going to go in and out, and in and out, and in. So pull on that bad boy. Tie these two together so your cinch doesn't come undone. And double knot, if I can manage. Struggling. So, that's your tail fin, if you can see. And they go on either side of the, and I don't know why, but that's what they do. I don't know why he even has them. I'm telling you, this dragon is my nemesis. So make your second tail fin. I'm gonna make my second one and sew both of mine on. So sew yours on, because next we're gonna do the wings, and they're pretty time consuming. And then we'll get the head sewn on, and we'll be done with this nonsense. So you can tuck this guy away. So these are my butt wings, fins. I don't know what they are. So I sewed down the side of the tail and here, but I left this open because they're supposed to stick up like that. So that's what mine look like. So let's get on to this head first, and then we'll do the wings. I was going to do it the other way around, but let's get this head on first. First, let's take care of this guy. That's really bright. Turn it down a little bit so my hands aren't so white. Alright. So, I want to make a knot. I'm going to go in beside like I'm going to make a scale, but I'm not. I'm going to leave a loop out. I'm going to come back in and go through the loop. This is just how I do it. There might be other ways. So when I pull, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just kind of creating a bump for the scale. Make my ISOs work. It's not exactly straight. I did not do a very good job. And then just weave, because now that that knot's in there, then nothing's going to come out. Or loosen over time, do you know what I mean? Like over the year. Oh my god. I'm so done with this dragon. It's a great dragon, I guess, and I don't know if I did an okay job or not, but so I am not going to be able to sew this on camera, but obviously you're going to need a piece of, you can sew it any way you want. I would suggest attaching it with the slip knot on the other end. But I am not, it's not even going to be possible to sew the head on, so, and I hope to God you're a better sewer than I am, as I am not a very good sewer. So I'll meet you back after the head is sewn on, and I'm probably just going to, actually, I'm probably not going to do this, and I'm just going to graft it. So I'm not going to do anything on this, and I'm just going to keep it straight. I'm going to graft the head on. You're going to have to look up what grafting means, because I'm not in a position right now with this large animal to show you what grafting is, but it's really close to a mattress stitch. You could also use a mattress stitch to do this. But I'm going to do my best. The last one I did it's not a very good job, so I will see you back after and we'll get the wings done. So, my head is sewn on. We have to make these wings. I'm using a 5mm, back to my 5. These wings are not the same. They can't just be built exactly the same and flip one over. It doesn't work that way. So, let's just jump right into this. This is going to take forever. They're big wings. So make a slip knot, and I want you to chain 25 plus 5. That's 25. Now keep your finger there to keep that number, because you're going to need this stitch, but I want you to plus 5. That's 5. So, skip these 5 and starting in this stitch here where your finger is at, I want you to put 2 double triples. So a double triple is you yarn over, you're going to go into that stitch, you're going to pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. So you're going to do that 4 times. That is a double triple. So put another one in there. Pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and pull through 2. So technically we have 3 double triples. So that's why I wanted you to skip those 5. So that's a double triple, double triple, double triple. Moving on. The next stitch is going to get a double triple, and it's going to get a triple. Go into the same stitch and pull through 2 3 times. That's your triple. And now we're going to do 5 triples in a row, 1 in each stitch. That's 5. I know this curling up business is annoying. It'll relax. So now I want you to do 4 half triples, 1 in each stitch. So a half triple is you're going to yarn over like you're doing a triple. So pretend you're going in to do a triple, but you're going to come through 2 and then you're going to come through all 3. So yarn over twice, go into the next one, come through 2, then come through 3. Come through 2, come through 3. One more. Come through 2, come through 3. I'm going fairly quick on these stitches because I figure anybody that's going to do this toothless is probably an avid crocheter in the first place and probably doesn't need a lot of lessons in all these stitches. So now you're going to do 5 double crochets across 5 stitches. And now you're going to do 4 half doubles. And you're going to do 4 singles. Well, I did something wrong because I have an extra stitch. Anyway, you're going to chain 1, and this is where it gets to be a pain in the butt. You're going to do a reverse single crochet all along the top using the front loop only. So this is your front loop. Very hard to see when it's black. So you're going to do a reverse. So to start the first one, the easiest thing to do is to grab it with your hook part. So you just grab in the front loop, then put your thing up there. So actually this is not a single crochet, it's just a slip stitch. I decided just to do a slip stitch, it's smaller. So once you get into your front loop, so that's my front loop right there. So this should be on top, but I did it backwards. You're just going to yarn over and pull through, and then you're going to secure it with a chain 1. So now we could probably get into this first one. So now you're just going to go into your first loop. Oops, try that again. Yarn over, pull through, doing a slip stitch, chain 1. You're going to do that all the way across. And this is how we're going to make the ribbing for our like a bone in the wing. Ribbing, bone, whatever. So this is what we're going to do all the way back across. And I gotta do that again because I missed it. So once you get onto this, oh my good lord, once you get onto this, it's not so bad. Except for apparently me today. It's not the easiest stitch to do. I mean, let's face it. But it turns out some really nice wings. So I decided to just go with it. I just sat in front of the TV and I just took my time. Nothing about this dragon has been simple. But I did 3 different wings and threw out, well, I ripped out 3 different wings. This was the only one that when I was trying to avoid to do wings like this, I was trying to use pipe cleaners. I was trying to do something that was going to be a little more easier. But at the end of the day, do you want easy or do you want it to look good? So I decided that these wings looked great. And if you wanted to stiffen them up, you could just put some felt or something on the back. Or starch them or whatever. So when we go back across, now obviously we're going to have to work in the back loop. So from this point moving forward, we're going to be working in only front loops and back loops, which I know people kind of frown upon. So just make sure you're getting all the stitches. I don't think it's going to be that noticeable if you miss some, but try your best not to miss some. It is such a slow process. So you're eventually going to run out of stitches. I think I'm going to do this last one, and I'm not going to really worry about because it's all turning over, and that's as far as I'm going there. So now we got to turn it over and we got to work into the back loops. So let me show you. So here's your big ridge that you just did right here. These are your back loops. They look like they're really far down because you've just created this ridge. But these are your back loops, not these. You gotta go way down here to find your back loops. And I hope you can see that. Black sucks to work with. Whether it's on camera or not on camera, it sucks. So your first 3 stitches, because I don't really want to make stitches here, so your first 3 stitches are just going to be slip stitches. I didn't want to make any stitches. Because I need to bring it down. So each part of the wing is going to be lower. It's going to start lower and lower and lower and lower. So I'm going to bring it down by 3. Every single time I do this, I'm going to bring it down by 3. And then when I get here, because I got to do a great big one of these stitches, I got to chain 5. Well, 5 for now. It'll get less and less. In the same stitch, I want you to put a double triple. So yarn over 4 times. Well, technically 3, I guess. You're going to pull through 4 times. Pull through 4 times. All in the back loops only. So the next 3 stitches, you're going to put double, triple into that. So you're yarning around 3 times, but you got 4 loops on. That's why I say 4. You're actually only yarning over 3 times. Just make sure you pull through 4 times, so you know you're on a double, triple. So once you get those 3 done, you can do 4 triples. And then we're going to do 3 half triples. So yarn over twice. Go into your back loop. Go through 2, then go through 3. So you're doing a triple, but not. Pull through 2, pull through 3. One more time. Then we're going to do 4 doubles. Then we're going to do 6 half doubles. And 3 singles. Mine's probably going to be 4 because I've got this extra stitch somehow. Yep, I'm going to do 4. 3 singles for you if you did everything right. I did it wrong right from the beginning. Chain 1. So there, we've created your wing with the bone in it. So now we're going to reverse slip stitch all the way back up. Okie dokie, so once you get back around, we have to flip it over and go into our back loops again. And you're going to slip stitch 3, just like before. So when you get back down here, you're going to chain 5. And the reason being is because in the same stitch, we're going to put 1 double triple. Oops. In the next 2 stitches, you're going to put a double triple in each. Then you're going to do 3 triples, 1 in each stitch. I knew I had a knot coming, it just couldn't pull it out. There we go. So now we're going to do 3 half triples. Now we're going to do 4 doubles. You don't have to pull tight on any of this, so I won't worry about it. Now we're going to do 4 half doubles. Oh no, sorry, 6 half doubles. I was reading the wrong line. That's 4. I wondered why it had so many left, and then I realized I was on the wrong line. 6. And then 3 single crochets. Mine's 4, because I got that extra stitch. Still not sure how that happened, but you know, it happens. That last one's difficult to get into. Chain 1, and again we're going to do our reverse slip stitch back to the top. So this is what your wing should look like. Pretty easy peasy once you get onto this reverse slip stitch. That's probably the biggest pain in the butt. So roll it over so you can get into your back loops, and we're going to do three slip stitches. Let me try that again. Alright, chain, where am I? Chain 5 again. We're not going to always chain 5, by the way. It will change. We're not always going to be following this up with a double triple either. But in the same space, you're going to do another double triple. And then we're going to do 2 double triples, one in each of these 2 stitches. And then we're going to do 3 triples. Then we're going to do 3 half triples. Then we're going to do 4 doubles. Then we're going to do 4 half doubles. This is the line I was reading before. And then your 3 singles, which I actually have 3 singles, so I don't know how that happened. I was one ahead, and now I'm not. The best part about this, oh see, this is uneven, so I screwed up there, which is fine. The best part of this is you can't really screw up a wing. I mean, it's gonna look like it's gonna look. Chain 1, do your reverse all the way back around. Slip stitch, chain 1. I know this is slow going, but it looks pretty neat, making the bone part of the wing, I think. Anyway, you may disagree. You don't need to make the same wings I'm making if you're getting frustrated. Alright, here we go again. Back loops. 3 slip stitches. This is the only part I would say to pull tight. Is this part. 3 slips, chain 5. Put 1 double triple inside. Oops. Oh, I yarned over too many times. I don't even know what that stitch is called. Alrighty, now we're going to do 2 double triples. 1 in each stitch. Yeah, working in the back loops only, not that I think I have to keep reminding you. It's a big enough pain in the butt. 3 triples. I'm gonna run out of black before I'm done this. Three half triples. Four doubles. Two half doubles. Three singles. Chain one. Alrighty, this is what it looks like now. So we're almost done. This one's going to be different this round. So we're going to get smaller, but you're still going to slip stitch 3. Alrighty, so we're going to chain 4. And we're only going to put a triple into this same space. Now we begin. We're going to do 3 triples. We're going to do 3 half triples. We're going to do 3 doubles. A lot of 3s in this one. Three half doubles. And 3 singles. Chain 1. Alright, next, our last one. If I can move my cursor, there we go. So 3 stitches, and now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And in the same stitch, we're going to put a double. Our last row. And now we're going to do 5 double crochets. That's my 5. We're going to do 5 half doubles. So that is it. What we're going to do to this will make it look more like a wing, but that's your wing for your dragon. The other one's a little different. Chain one here, and I want you to, so you're going to need a sewing tail and a cinching tail, so I need another roll of black. Do my next wing, I think. So the wing does not match this one. We have to actually build it backwards. Yeah, you think this one was a pain in the butt? You just wait. So we need to cinch the end. Let me get the yarn out of my mouth. Ugh. So I decided, for sewing purposes and aesthetically, that I was just gonna cinch. So weave across here as close as you can to the top. And then pull so that gathers, and then use your straggler to tie a knot. Sorry, I have a terrible cold, and I think maybe some allergies. It's warming up today. Right now it's 10 degrees, so I want you to cinch your top like that, and then make a double knot here so that it doesn't, your cinch doesn't pop open, because that's how it's going to get sewed. So you can put felt on the back of this. It might help make it a little sturdier. I just decided to leave it like this. So this can now get hidden, tucked away. And it's so nice and tight up here that I would just tuck it up away this way. Do that. So before we sew it on, let's get started on our next wing. So I need to put this somewhere. Man, I don't have a lot of room at this craft table, so I had to get a new ball of black. So let's do the left wing now. This one's backwards, but it starts the same way. So we're going to do 4 single crochets. This took me forever to design this second wing. Hopefully I wrote it down properly. 4 half double crochets. Five double crochets. Oh, the rolling drives me crazy. That's my 5 doubles. I'm going to do 4 half triples. That's my 4 half triples. Now I'm going to do 5 triples. That's my 5 triples. So in the next stitch, we're going to share the space. We're going to put 2 stitches in there. The first one's going to be a triple. Let's try that again. First one's going to be a triple. I keep yarning over. Too many are not enough. So this is a triple. And you're going to share the same space with a double triple. The next 2 stitches are going to get 1 double triple each. And now these 4 are going to get skipped. You're going to slip stitch into this last stitch, and you're going to chain 1. I only had 4 stitches, so I had to skip 3, so mine's going to look funny. And chain 1. So now we do our reverse. So do you see how that's backwards? It was such a pain to try to design this. So we do our reverse slip stitch, chain 1 all the way back up. So you gotta go all the way down to the tippy top on this one. So chain 1, and now we're going to work into the back loops, and you're going to do 3 single crochets. Oh, I gotta change so I follow the right pattern. 3 single crochets. We're going to do 6 half double crochets. Four doubles. I'm struggling to find my back loops on this one. And my cake is not feeding properly. This whole dragon has been such a pain in my butt. 3 half triples. Four triples. Three double triples. And then this next stitch gets 2 triples, sorry, 2 double triples. In the same space. going to chain 1. Alright, 3 single crochets, back loops only. 4 half doubles. Sorry, 6 half doubles. I lied. Where'd I get the 4 from? Oh, I was reading the wrong row again. So do 2 more of these. It's a lot that I had to write down. You'll see when I... Well, unless I've already put it on the screen for you to see. It's a lot. It's a lot to follow. It was a lot to write down while I was trying to design this too. 4 doubles. Three half triples. Make sure I'm in the right stitch. So hard to see. I've been wanting to do Mickey and Minnie Mouse, but to have to work with the black, oh my gosh. 3 triples. My niece, Alyssa, she's a grown-up. She's not a little girl. She absolutely loves Minnie Mouse, so I've been wanting to make one for her. I did 3 triples, so 2 double triples. And then this next stitch gets 2 double triples in the same space. Chain 1. Halfway there. Back loops only. 3 single crochets. Let's see, four half double crochets. Four doubles. Three half triples. Three triples. 2 double triples, and this next stitch gets 2 double triples in the same space. Chain 1, just about done. Three single crochets, back loops only. Oops. Two half doubles, four doubles, three half triples, three triples, struggling to find my back loops, now you're waiting on me. Two double triples, and you guessed it, two double triples in the next stitch. Chain one, do your reverse slip stitch all the way back up. Oh, I'm struggling to see. You know when you look into a light and all of a sudden you can't see anything? Yeah. I got all kinds of lights around me trying to brighten up this area for when I film. And generally it's not so bad, but my lights are extra bright because I'm using this black, and I just made the mistake of looking up into one of them. So now I'm struggling to see. I hope you guys like this dragon. And I hope you guys share the heck out of this video, because this, I'm telling you, is my nemesis. I generally enjoy what I do and I have fun doing it, and this dragon. So, second to last row, we're just about finished. So 3 single crochets, your back loops. Oh, can. I can't see anything. 3 single crochets. You guys are going to be waiting on me. 3 half doubles. Oh, this is the row of 3. I did 3 for everything. 3 half doubles. 3 doubles. Three half triples. Am I the only one that struggles with black this badly? Tell me in the comments. 3 triples. Generally, I look up into my viewfinder a couple of times just to see if I'm still on camera. Not this time. So your next stitch gets 2 triples in the same space. Oh, we're so close to being done. Chain 1, do your reverse slip stitch. Oh, last row. So, 3 single crochets in your back loop. 5 half doubles. Oh, I was doing so well finding the back loops. 5 half doubles, 5 doubles next. And then 2 doubles in the same space, and we are done. We're not doing the bone on the end because we didn't do the bone on the other end. So this is where you just snip off. Now remember, we need a sewing tail and a cinch end. So we're gonna fasten off the length we need, and we're just gonna scooch our yarn back down to this side. We're not going to be messing around with anything at the top here. We're just going to scoot, or we're not going to cut off and then reattach. We're just going to scooch. So make it a little extra longer for the scooching. I just didn't want to be doing any more messing around. I am just so glad we're done these wings. I'm so glad this dragon is done. I'm telling you. Just been stressing. So let's just very politely weave down the side. Now try not to pull this out of shape. You're gonna have to put it back in a shape after we use it to cinch anyway, but anyway, just very politely come all the way down to the bottom. Now we're not going to have our stragglers up here, so we're not going to have our straggler. We're just going to have to try to tie a knot. So cinch across, staying near the top, in and out, in and out. This one's a little harder to cinch, and I don't understand why, but it's what I found anyway. So, pull that ever so tightly, but don't do what I just told you not to do. So, you gotta really watch. Thought I was holding it good enough. So, cinch the bottom without pulling this down. It is possible. I've done it before. So, I did a double cinch. So once it's cinched, I went across and cinched again because I've got nothing to tie this to. And I come through this loop. You're not ever going to see this because we're going to cinch it nice and tight. And then when you sew it, this is the part that gets sewn. So this little piece can just get tucked under when you do your sewing. So you're never going to see it. And then I come up and make an extra knot. And that's my sewing tail, which is probably way too long. It's always better to have extra than not enough. And then this guy just... Now, because it looks funny here, you can tighten that a little bit. But I just come down through the top to start weaving. You kind of only have this spot to weave. So, it is a little more awkward to finish this project than the last wing. But I'm just glad our wings are done. So, these are our wings. So, do you see what I mean? Like, there's no bone on this side, so we had to make a left and a right. And now we can sew it to our dragon and be done with it. So, you can sew it however you want. You're looking at his butt right now, but I'm going to lift you up in a minute. Hold on. There. So, it's hard with his head in a way. I don't know why this guy's head wants to lean back. My last one didn't do that. I must have sewed him in a different spot. So, you can sew your wings on however you want. Oops, this one's this side. So, I did the pointy side up. That's how I sewed him on. It was the pointy side up. And I sewed him right up to his neck. So that's how I'm sewing mine on. So I'll meet you back here after all this is sewn on. And we are done. This will be it. So I decided to move him over to my office chair since he's so big. Trying to get him all in. Light on him. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. And I'll see you in the next video.